How about them Cowboys?
Fasten your seatbelts for the realest Eagles and Sixers YouTuber! One who plays no clickbait and gets to the point! The myth, the legend, Nicky Steves! Come to my channel, you know the deal, yo boy always keeps things real. I'm simply statue think they slate, dropping unrealistic match, 2K takes for the clip. Even though cats like that get views closer to the milli, never hear me preach, look on to Philly. Before you watching the Eagles all the way through the early 22, authentic talk, forget what others do. Come to my channel, you know the deal, yo boy always keeps things real. The 24/7, 365 way, sports content for the reals that fill the day.
Then we're just going to do the one intro in this case. And we got, as always, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights stopping by the chat. So welcome to the Eagles versus Cowboys Week 10 recap with Nicky Steves. Streaming both on my channel and the Hardcore Sports Network channels, as always. This is a fun game. Now for us as Eagles fans, because this is our hated division rival, the Dallas Cowboys. It's a depleted Cowboys team. You know, people are going to use the excuses, especially Cowboy fans. They're going to use the excuses. Oh, we had to start Cooper Rush. But let's face it. If the roles were reversed in this game, Eagles were down a bunch of guys. Cowboys blew them out. Cowboys fans would act like it was the biggest win of the year. It's our year. We're going to get slowly crawl back into contention. So the point being is that, look, there ain't no shame in us Eagles fans laughing at the Cowboys. I don't care what the excuses are because the roles were reversed and the Eagles were with their backups and got blown out this bad. Cowboys fans would have a field day and they would toast to it. So why not us do that? Because at least we're 7-2. There's still some question marks about us being Super Bowl contenders, but we're 7-2. We at least have playoffs looking ourselves in the rear mirror straight ahead, I should say. We still have playoffs looking straight ahead. Whereas the Cowboys, they're 3-6. Dak may be out for the season. I mean, you might have to rely on Trey Lance. And that's, I mean, not looking too good for you. You don't really have a whole lot of a run game. But, you know, it's not looking good for the Cowboys at all. Whereas the Eagles, at least we're 7-2. And we still have to go up against Washington. Yes, our schedule is getting tougher. But guess what? We're at 7-2. That's on pace to at least make the playoffs again for the fourth straight season. Hopefully we don't collapse like we did last season. But guess what? We're at least, you know, we have hope. Cowboys are done for the season. All but officially done. Now, I mean, Cowboys fans, even going into the season, they weren't so confident. You didn't hear the usual, this time it's our year. This time it's our year. Even going into the season, we kind of knew the Cowboys weren't going to be that great. But then week one, all of a sudden they beat up on the Cleveland Browns. Cowboy fans, some of them were probably getting their hopes up as usual. After week one, was like, all right, the Cowboys beat the Browns, quarterbacked by Deshaun Watson, who's a shell of his former self. Let's not jump on the bandwagon yet. And now here we are now. We played the Cowboys. We destroyed them. Backup quarterback, yes, but Cowboys were struggling with Dak as it is anyway. So Dak playing doesn't guarantee they would have won this game. It would have been a lot more competitive and it would have been a tighter game. Would have been a different situation, but that doesn't mean they would have won the game because they're already struggling as it is. And now with Cooper Rush, Eagles just had a field day. Just a field day on them. They recorded 5 total turnovers in the game. Cowboys gave up and just put in Trey Lance. They're like, we're not doing anything with Cooper Rush. We know he's not the long-term answer. Trey Lance was once a promising prospect. Let's at least give him a chance. Wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys just decide, fuck it, let's just give Trey Lance the starts from here. But yeah, that's how bad that's how desperate they were. They benched their QB in garbage time. Matter of fact, we were up so well. We were doing so well. We just said, you know what? Hurts and these guys don't need to play. You know, it's a long travel back. Let them get a little bit of rest. We don't need them for the final quarter. Let's just bring in Kenny Pickett. Why not? I mean, Pickett threw an interception, but it was in garbage time. And besides, it was just for a little bit in the fourth, just for a quarter, for a part of the fourth quarter. And even then, they did the tush push as the final play with Kenny Pickett, and they still converted. So, yeah, it was just Cowboys. But the first half was kind of shaky, though. The Cowboys did, they did score 2 field goals, and we kind of looked sluggish, especially on offense in the first half. It was like, what the fuck are we doing? Because I remember the first half when we were going pass heavy, I'm screaming, why are we not trying to run a little bit more? I know Saquon didn't have his best game, but you got to try a little bit more. And that was our perspective in the first half as fans. I know I wasn't the only one. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there that first half were thinking to yourselves, why don't you just run it a little bit more? And we had a few penalties. We had an interception when we were closing in on scoring, where Micah Parsons got the pick on us in the end zone on the pass intent for AJ. Then we had that fumble, and the Cowboys, it was 7-6. Then all of a sudden late in the first half, we got down the field. We got a touchdown. All right, we got a little bit of breathing room. We went up 14-6. We got some breathing room going into halftime. So, yeah, the first half, let's admit, it was a shaky first half. But we did struggle, with penalties, turnovers. Now, fortunately, though, it was only the first half. Second half was a different story. We came out second half with a more comfortable 8-point lead, and then we slammed our foot on the gas pedal and took off from there. Came out second half, got a touchdown, boom. Now it's 21-6. Now it's a little more open. Cowboys ain't looking so hot, but then all of a sudden, before you know it, it's 28-6, and all of a sudden we're roaring. As we're getting closer to 7 o'clock, all the Eastern Standard Time, we're roaring throughout the third quarter. And then from there, we just kicked a few field goals later. Cowboys just kept turning the ball over. They couldn't really do anything. And speaking of that, now that I think about it, I'm surprised the Cowboys didn't try to run the ball a little bit more. Because to be fair, Rico O'Donnell was actually doing decent when he was getting carries. And even Zeke, he came in for a few carries, but he actually did decent on those 3. What is it? He had 6 carries for 20. He was all right. But Rico O'Donnell, 12 carries, 53 yards. I'm surprised they didn't just try the run a little bit more because he did all right. And Saquon, it wasn't his best game in the world. Now, normally I would say, hey, Eagles, look, you need to run the ball a little bit more. Hand off to Saquon. But fortunately, we didn't really need to in this game. We could get away with not really running the ball much this time against Saquon, against the Cowboys. But going forward, we need to get back into giving Saquon the ball. Okay, I'll let it slide this one game, but going forward, we need to get back into it. And be fair, hey, Hurts had 2 rushing touchdowns as well, so he helped salvage the run game a little bit. Like I said, what else did we get out of this? Besides lots of turnovers and laughing at Cowboys fans, of course. We also, what else did we get out of this? We're the only team in the NFC East that won this week. Giants lost to the Panthers. Oh, wait, and Washington lost to the Steelers, but to be fair, we got to turn around and play Washington, so I'm not going to laugh at them too much. Let's be humble. We still got to turn around and play them Thursday night. Let's not say anything just yet about Washington. And to be fair, they did lose a competitive game against a good Pittsburgh Steelers team. So, yeah, it may feel good today that they lost and we won, but remember, we got to play them Thursday. And they didn't, right. They did lose a respectable game in a respectable fashion, though. So I can't really laugh at them too much. But hey, Washington did lose. Giants lost. We beat up on the Cowgirls. We're in first place by default. And we're 7-2, which is nice. And we're 4-1 on the road. Now we're on a 5-game win streak. It's like, hey, we took advantage of the schedule. And we took advantage of the situation here. You have, hey, Cowboys, we're a struggling team, down some key players, but we took advantage of it. I mean, we had, this was kind of us like playing good, because we did play good enough to move the ball downfield, but we also took advantage of the Cowboys just playing like you know what. But hey, you take the wins any way you can get them. I'm just glad we were able to take care of business, beat the Dallas Cowboys at home, get the AT&T Stadium jinx off our backs. But at the same time, to me, it's temporary. Let's face it. It's just temporary. Because we won against Cooper Rush, and Cooper Rush couldn't do anything at all. I mean, the first half, the Cowboys had a little bit of a spark going. They did that one drive where we were able to get a fumble, and we kept them out of the end zone too, which was great. Even though they did move the ball a little bit in the first half, every time they did, we stopped them from getting in the end zone. We held them to 2 field goals. We got a fumble when it looked like they were going to score a touchdown early in the first half. All-around respectable performance by the defense. We kept the Cowboys out of the end zone in this one. And that's great. So this was a good team. It was in part a good team win, part the Cowboys horrible, like I said. But you know what? The Cowboys gave us something to take advantage of, and we did. And that's great. But I'm actually going to put up a poll question on my channel. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm going to see options. I'll go A. I'm going to share the screen with you guys, show you guys what I'm doing real quick. Here, I'm putting a poll question up. There we go. We'll start the poll. There you go. Okay, so there you go. There's our poll question right there for you guys on my side of it, on my channel. Asking, what's your letter grade? I threw the options A, B, or even C. Not really a great win, great luck. Because some people might say that, hey, the Eagles won because the Cowboys played a poor game. Some people might say that. So I decided to be fair and at least throw that option in the poll in case anyone does feel that way. Now, I don't personally feel that way, but, everyone has the right to their opinion. So, hey, all power to you guys if that's how you feel. And, hey, let's face it, man. I mean, but hey, you know what? You do what you got to do to win these games. Even if they're easy games, even if they're, you find ways to win. And the Cowboys are not the same team we're used to playing over these past couple of years where we usually split games. The Cowboys having good regular season teams, those days are numbered, man. We came into this game the favorites by 7 points. We should have been the favorites because guess what? The Cowboys are doo-doo this season. This is not the same team we're used to. This is like 2020 Cowboys. Except this isn't 2020 Eagles, who are worse. This is 2024 Eagles, who actually have some stability on the roster. I mean, Sirianni, we didn't, although the play calling, like I said, I do think we got a little bit too far away from the run game for my liking. However, fortunately, unfortunately, it was against, it was again, but it was against the Cavs, but we were dominating anyway. We got turnovers, part because Cooper Rush is terrible. And yes, sir. Yes, Phil. That's right. Go Birds. It was in part because they're terrible, but it's also in part because we, the Philadelphia Eagles, have the right piece. We had the right piece on offense to score points. And the defense, hey, we took advantage of the fumbles, we took advantage of the turnovers, and that's what matters most. You just do what you got. When you have the right talent on the roster, you can find ways to win games. And in games where you're going against struggling teams, if you're a good team, you should blow those teams out. You should make them basically your practice squad game, where you just blow through them, get a free win, build the confidence up. And that's what we did against the Cowboys. They were basically that team that we could just go in there, decimate, get our confidence up. We were recording fumbles left and right. We had Zach Bond, Milton Williams, Reed Blankenship, Cooper DeJean were recording fumbles. We got one pick on Trey Lance late in garbage time, but we were recording fumbles left and right. And that's what was great about it. It was just, you know what? It didn't matter if we started off shaky. It's all about how you finish in the league. Yeah, we started off, but guess what? Let's see. Beating the Cowboys with Cooper Rush at QB is like eating a Domino's pizza. Nothing to write home about, but still hits the spot. Yep, that's one comparison. I mean, yeah. Right. I mean, this time around, oh my gosh. I mean, last time we beat them with Cooper Rush, they were at least still a decent team and it was a competitive game. But this time around, we just steamrolled through them. So we're like, hey, it's a free win. Let's take it. Move on. Bring on the Commanders, which is going to come Thursday. So it'll be on short notice. So I'll have to do a stream possibly sometime Tuesday or Wednesday previewing it. But we'll deal with that later. But yes. But hey, it takes care of business. But damn. I'm just happy we got the win, because if we would have lost this game, I wasn't have been happy. The first half, it didn't look like I was going to be that happy. Then once we scored that touchdown late in the first half, I was like, all right, breathe. We got a little bit of breathing room. Let's not worry as much. But then the second half, we just took over. We took advantage of our opportunities, and we scored enough points to win. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. So great job there. Shout out to the Eagles on getting the win. Do a quick toast. Give me 1 second. All right, now, quick toast to the Philadelphia Eagles win. In case you wonder what I got in there, it's water and it's lemon. It's from a used Talente ice cream container, but yes, sir. Yes, sir. 7-2, baby. Feels good. I mean, hey, so we got that game out the way. We got the jinx at AT&T Stadium over with. We had a long drought without winning a game there. We finally put that to rest. Get the win on the road at AT&T Stadium. Move on. 7-2. Now this is where our season starts to get a little more difficult starting Thursday night, because we got to play the Commanders. And then from there, then we play the Rams, who are starting to improve. We're starting to get healthy all of a sudden. and get their pieces back. So that might be a little bit tougher than it would have looked like a month ago. Then we get the Ravens December 1st. So the next 3 games, you're looking at potentially 3 challenging matchups. First, you're talking the Commanders, who, despite losing today, still put up a good effort against the Steelers and are still one of the better teams in the NFC. The Rams, who are starting to get better, may not be as easy as we thought. Then the Ravens, who are one of the top teams in the AFC. So yeah, we got to keep in mind, though, the Eagles' road from here only gets more difficult. We took advantage of the easier schedule because, let's be honest, ever since the bye week, we've had an easy schedule. Let's be honest about it. Not to take away from the 5 straight wins, but it has been an easy schedule. Let's face it. The Browns, Giants, Bengals, Jaguars. How Doug Peterson still has a job, unless he just got fired as I was recording, I don't know. And then a struggling Cowboys team. Let's face it, this has been an easy schedule we're taking advantage of. So not to take away from this team, but now we got to step up in competition. Let's see what this team really can do. But we will talk about the Commanders game more, another day, either Tuesday or Wednesday. For now, let's just take some joy and be in destroying the Dallas Cowboys. It always feels good to own the Cowboys, whether they're a good team, bad team, whatever the case is. A win over the Cowboys is a win over the Cowboys. We'll take it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sorry about that. I think I'm going to call this a little bit early. I mean, got to try to get some sleep tonight because I got a bit of a busy day ahead of me tomorrow, but that's all subject. But the point being is I came out here and said everything I was going to say. Before I go, let's just give a shout out to the defense for forcing fumbles against a sitting duck in the pocket in Cooper Rush. Shout out to Jalen Hurts, 2 rushing touchdowns, had a nice passing touchdown. AJ Brown had himself a good game. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to the Eagles for getting the dub. Easy win, but a win's a win. So thanks to everyone, Daniel, Lil G Griffin, Phil Talk Sports. Thanks for stopping by. I hope everyone who caught this stream, whether it be live or on the replay, I hope you enjoyed it. Before we do go up there, I want to say Happy Veterans Day, November 11th, to anyone watching this that will be celebrating. Have a great and blessed day. So again, thanks to everyone that stopped by. Hope you enjoyed this. Fly, Eagles, fly. And until next time, your boy Nicky Stees is signing off. Peace.